it's right up. Which is, I gotta remember to put the nav lights on because the ADS-B is tied into the nav light switch. Alright, just like to listen to I think it's wobbling pretty good. Hello everybody. Due to popular demand, I put out a poll to see what you wanted to see on Sunday, and if everything goes well, you will be watching this video starting on Sunday. And I am here with Rick, who is a pilot from Texas. He flies an R44 Astro, which is a real pretty looking ship, and he brought that up from Texas, and he's going to be working with me on cherry drying. So what I'm going to be doing with him today is taking him on a quick flight to show him the 6 orchards that he'll be covering with me for the first 10 days of his contract. Then he goes to Quincy, and we looked at that this morning. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to get down low over the trees and show him, where he needs to fly, and hopefully this will work out. So right now I just started up the helicopter. It is warming up. We had a cool night last night. We got down to 47 up at my house, which is pretty cool for June 16th, I think we are, 15th, 16th, 15th. And we've got some rain in the forecast for tonight, 40% chance of rain overnight. Rick is excited. I don't know if I'm excited. I'm just like, all right.
You mind if I turn this down a little?
Yeah, is it too loud?
Very.
How's that, better?
Better. Thank you so much.
Yep, all right. It was loud for me too. Okay, so
Didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
He's got these really cool headsets on that are just, they go in his ear and they're Bose and they're noise canceling, so he doesn't have these big ear cups on. And I see that you're
I'm wrapped up over
I
here.
know, this seatbelt's is kind of funky. I think it's too loose.
There's no tension on it at all.
I know, that's how mine is too. I think they need to be adjusted in the back. We're almost warmed up now. So we're just going to be flying around the area, relatively low level, just to show him the orchards, and then I'll pick one where there's nobody working, and we'll get down low over that. Maybe out in RZ, we'll see. And so the things that I give my guys is I give them GPS coordinates for the outlines of the orchards, and also the waypoints of the orchards, the names of the orchard blocks that they can use with ForeFlight on an iPad or a tablet. And then I also give them a book, which Rick is looking at now, and it lists out all the orchards and the start dates and the number of acres and things like that. And that's so that we know which orchards are on contract, and then on the inside are maps. And the maps pretty much duplicate what's on the iPad. So the problem with the maps is that a lot of times they include other trees that we don't care about, like apple trees. And that's, so it's a little distracting. I prefer working just with the iPad, but the other thing is good to know too. So I'm doing my mag check. Needle split, which is always sluggish in this machine, so I'm going to do it again at 100% RPM. Let's bring it up to 100% RPM. Take my... I gotta turn on the noise canceling. Where's my button? Here it is.
That's
Boy, oh my gosh, what a difference. Okay. So I'm gonna do another needle split. There we go, that's good. Some machines, they just don't like to do a good needle split at 75%. And I'll do a horn check, so bring up the collective a tiny bit, roll down the throttle, 97%, there we go, the sick horn, and we are good to go, back up to 100%. Okay, so we're going to take off, we'll look at ATM Malaga, which is right up there first, and then we'll branch off and start looking at the LBF stuff. So, raising the collective slowly, getting it light on the skids. We're going to be a little nose heavy. Wait a second. I think I left my door open again. Yes, I did. Okay, here we go. Raise the collective slowly. Light on the skids. And we'll be a little nose heavy because we are two big folks in the front. Oh, no, it's heavy in the back. This is a weird ship. I think he's got something in the back. Maybe it's got related to the hook. Who knows? But it's tail heavy, this ship. Okay, and I'm just taking off over the orchard, climbing out. And this is ATM Malaga, starting here in this corner, right here, and then all the way down there. Two wind machines, they're both on the sides, and the gaps in the trees, that's what I was telling you about the small cherry virus.
Right.
So they've removed a bunch of trees. They're trying to save the whole orchard, but I don't know, every year there's fewer trees.
Okay. And then...
So then LBF, and those are, two of those are right here. Okay, so this little building, this block in between is the sideways block, and then that block there.
Okay.
And they both have, this one that doesn't really have much in the way of instructions. The other one has wires on two sides and a big tree. So, you want to go back and look at that again? I may as well.
LBF 4.
Right.
Well, I'm not much, but I can tell the difference in the trees.
Yeah, they're more like a golden color on top a little bit.
They are.
That's new growth, I think. I don't want to fly right over these houses.
Little one and
Oh, they pulled out some trees there too. Those are,
okay,
yeah, so the obstacles here along this road, there's wires, and then along from the road to the house, there's wires, and then there's a tall tree there, and that's the obstacles. And this one really doesn't have any obstacles. Okay.
Okay, I've got that.
So the other LBF stuff is over here. Let me see where I'm gonna orient myself here. Oh, looks like they pulled out a bunch of trees over there. So this horrible block here, that with the weird shape and the road going in between, I think that's block 17, and it's got wires running right through it. You can see the poles. That's the obstacle there. That's not a fun one to dry. And then this next to near the barn, they're dismantling that barn. This here is another one of their blocks, and then they've got, I just passed it.
Yep.
I think these are more cherries here. Yeah, boy, they must be really being hit. Then this part here.
Yep.
Yep, on this side of that white building, white roof building. And then this here, going up the hill.
Oh,
That's the big one.
Yep.
And normally you're going to fly with, let me, well, turn it around, so put it on your side. Just tooling around. So you can see that these are really close to our LZ.
Yep.
Okay, so the thing to remember here, though, is that his cherries are these, but not those. And over here, it's these, whatever's outlined, but not these.
Right.
And they are cherries next to cherries, and I think that's another one of them, and it looks to me like they pulled something out there. I don't know, I might be imagining it. Okay, so that's LBF.
Okay, can you go to the left? Yep. What, right there in the middle of that field, there's something standing right up.
That is, oh, very good eye. That is going to be, it looks like a weather monitor, weather station.
Okay.
It is definitely something to keep an eye out for. It's pretty low.
Right.
It's definitely weather. It's got a little solar panel on it. You will also see birdhouses in some of them. Some of the orchards. Actually, I don't think there are any birdhouses in any of the ones you'll be doing. There's later season ones have birdhouses in them. The birds of prey that will hopefully eat the birds that eat the cherries.
Yes.
So the next one is Camp David. So the landmarks here are the golf course, and it's basically right across from the golf course.
Okay. I was amazed. This golf course, as I was going, I said, wow, is that a golf course?
Yeah.
It's too bad I'm not a golfer.
I know, there's lots of golf courses in the area. Okay, so the landmark here to keep in mind is you've got the road, you've got this mobile home here, which is the office. You've got another one set into the orchard, and then you've got the shop area. And I don't think we're responsible for these in the front this year, which is good, but I think we're responsible for these in the back. So on the hillside of the Rainiers, these are all the Rainiers, and then there's a, and he did plant in there, and then there's one with the barn. And it looks like he's pulled some trees out there too. So let me make a big circle of this whole area. And the thing to keep an eye on with this one is that the next door neighbor is also cherries, and they're using a different company for drying, and sometimes you will be close to them if they're drying next to you.
Okay.
But basically it's this up here, not these bright yellow trees. That's the other guy.
Okay.
And then the I don't think we're doing this front stuff. I think that stuff got too damaged by the frost.
Well, CD4, CD.
Yeah. Those guys.
Those are not those. Are
Yep.
red
And then this is the one that's out by the barn over there.
Yep. It's got a picture of the barn in the corner.
Yeah. Let me just turn the radio up in case somebody's flying around here. Okay. So, all right, let's move on. I can't tell you how many times I landed in that guy's backyard because I left with my door on. The sun came out. I started to roast.
Oh yeah.
And I had to land and take the door off. Yeah. And then these are cherries too, but again, there's somebody else's. And this here is a heli base. So keep in mind, right in front of us, that you might see helicopters launching from here. So when you're in this area, keep an eye out for helicopters. Actually, anytime you're flying, keep an eye out for helicopters because there's a lot of us. Okay, and then we have ATM bottom, which is over here. That one is really a pain it's really a pain. We'll just leave it at that. Let's see if I can figure out where it is. So this is Stamil Creek here. That's the name of this place. And then it is, okay, so we've got some of it over here. This is one of the blocks over here. And then on the other side of the road, and you see there's one machine there. And then there's some more down here, which goes under the wires. So you don't want to go under these wires. You want to just kind of cut off that beginning part. And I think this is part of theirs too. And they tore out. Oh, that's this here, I think, is what they tore out. Yeah, so that's this down here. So it's all this in here. And as you can see, as we're flying over it,
right.
You know, you can see us, so you know that you're
track, yeah.
Right.
And I'll know I'm doing the right track.
Yeah, and you could do a track too. Yeah.
Oh,
They pulled these out and replanted something in here.
Well, now this is interesting. You're down below the ground here. That's neat.
Yeah. So when you're, let's see, should I show you over here? May as well. Well, let's go look at the other one, then we'll come back to this one. I don't want to fly where there's somebody working, yeah. So that was, who else was, can I see the white paper here? Yeah, the other one, oh, CLO, okay. We'll do RZ next. Okay, so RZ is in the next canyon. So, and then when you're down in this canyon, unless I'm down in this canyon too, like if we're both drying down in here, then we should be able to talk to each other. But if we're not, like if I'm in the next canyon, then chances are we will, if you need to talk to me, you'll need to climb. And same for me, if I need to talk to you, I'll have to climb. And the fastest way to get to where we're going is to pop over the top here. If you go out and around, it just takes too much time.
Okay.
We used to do that one down there, but the owner sold it and the new owners haven't called yet. Oh, it looks like they tore out a whole bunch of trees. Wow. Yeah, I didn't actually like doing that orchard because he's got the wires that go diagonal and
Yeah, I can see that would be in it.
Yeah, and he tore out. You can see where those, the fields are there. There used to be trees. Last year there were trees there.
What are they spraying?
Yeah.
Is it water, chemical?
It's chemical.
Okay.
For whatever purpose, could be anything. I don't even know. We'll go over my friend's house. So this here is called Wenatchee Heights. This land here is Wenatchee Heights, and it's mostly cherries up here. And we used to do a couple up here, but they Oh, some of them they cut down the trees and whatnot. This is my friend Cindy's house here. That's
Hello,
their
Cindy.
Christmas tree farm they've got. Later on she'll say, "Did you fly over my house?"
Absolutely.
This is another one of our this is a brand new orchard going in.
Yep.
And then there's all these high elevation orchards. And the deal about those is that they pick really late in the season, so they get a really good price for their crop. So that's kind of good for them. So we're going over Wenatchee Heights, and RZ is straight in front of us, and we have to descend. They get ready to build something up there. Probably somebody's going to have a nice view property up there.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, this is a really pretty little valley. This is called Squilchuck Canyon, and the snow-covered stuff up there, that's Mission Ridge. It's a real ski resort. And it's obviously close to the season now. So this is RZ, and we used to do all this stuff on the bottom, but it's all Rainiers, so we don't do that anymore. And I think we start now. I just highlighted. I can't remember where we start. Where am I?
You're coming in?
I know it's this upper stuff, which it looks terrible. Yeah, all right, so it's this up here. So the stuff under me.
Wow, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of missing trees in there. They're really old, gnarly, big cherry trees.
Wow.
So it's this stuff here. You'll see when you fly, and of course there's the obstacles are these trees that are along the edge, so be careful around the edge. And then you've got this set of wires that goes across the top end.
Right.
You see this? And of course on a diagonal, so they're really hard to see. It's just two of them. And
That's
then,
just enough to make everything interesting.
Yeah, it does. And then it goes out to here, and then around to here, and I can't remember if it includes this down here. No, it doesn't include this under us, and it doesn't include that. These are all Rainiers. They don't want us to drive the Rainiers. So that's basically it. And again, as you fly, you'll see the edges.
Right.
So like right now, this is part of it here. Yeah. And that's basically it. So just fly within the edges, and you're good.
Okay.
And all right, so we're gonna climb back out of here. Just take a little cruise past one of my orchard friends here. This is another orchard. This big orchard here is another one that we do. It's actually 4 orchards.
That's a bunch.
Yeah, that's all this stuff here.
Yep.
Boy, this guy's got quite the junkyard. Tell you. My friend, not this house, that house over there with the brown roof.
Right.
It's my woodworking friend.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I used to camp out here. There was the house on the end of the road, the kind of green-colored house. I used to camp in that guy's yard, and I'd go for a walk in the orchard every day. And you could see him spraying over there. You see the mist coming up?
Yep.
So when we're drying cherries, sometimes, not this orchard, not RZ, well, maybe RZ, definitely the one in Quincy, though, they will load up their sprayer. They will actually hook up their sprayer, but it'll be empty, nothing in it. And then they'll go up and down, and the fan and the sprayer will dry the cherries from the bottom. And you'll see them, you'll fly probably right over them. They like to take pictures of us flying over. It's kind of weird.
Bad.
All right, so that's that. That's the 4 orchards.
Okay.
Oh no, I didn't tell you the other side. CLO is brand new. Let's see if I can find it. I just made the map for that. So CLO should be pretty easy because it's flat and square. I don't know if there's any obstacles. We'll see. But it's on the other side of the river. It's really, what's nice about it for us is it's close to the airport. So hopefully it'll be, if it's like the last one you do, then you just stop for fuel and come back. Unfortunately, we do have to do them in the order they call. So if he calls first, you got to do them first.
Okay. Not a problem. And our landing zone's right over there.
Yep, over there.
Perfect. Yes. Okay. Well, at least I know where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's half the battle.
Yeah. It's all about, with me, it's all about landmarks, you know.
Oh, yeah.
The weird looking barn or the, you know, the pond or whatever. These, those 2 lakes over there, that area is known as 3 Lakes, so if somebody calls that they're at 3 Lakes, that's where they are, and I don't know why it's
There's 2
3
lakes, they call it 3.
Yeah, they call it 3 Lakes. Go figure. Wenatchee traffic, helicopter will be maneuvering on the northwest corner of the airport. And then we're back down, that's again that helibase.
Right.
And the golf course. And
A landing zone right up there for somebody?
that is, he was going to build a house up there, and if that's part of Camp David, so if you need to make, again, a precautionary landing, like, I landed there last year, a thunderstorm rolled in while we were drying, and I just need to get on the ground quick.
Yes.
So he already knows. In fact, he has offered that up as a landing zone for us to park in, but the road to get up there is a little gnarly, and I think if it was wet, we might have trouble getting our vehicles up there. So, and then it would be dusty otherwise. All right, let me see. Here's the airport. All right, dude, button here, hold on. All right, that should show me where. It looks like it's right there. This will be interesting to see if I can find it first shot.
Oh, you're on a good track.
Not this road, it's the next road. I hate operating off the end of the runway. Okay, I see. I think I see where it is.
Yep.
There's the building. Nope, I'm not seeing where it is.
Over here. Going up this road, red, white, right past the red and white roofs.
Okay. So it's the one... Oh yeah, okay. I remember drawing the line around all this. Okay, so it would be this, from this building, all in here,
Right.
with the house, okay? And then he said, so that's the main block, that's what we'll call main. And then the Skinas are right here.
Oh, right here,
Yeah.
close, yes.
Yeah,
Got
and
it.
notice that you got a wind machine and you got wires.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. And you're also right at the end of the runway.
Yeah.
So you're low enough that you shouldn't bother anybody when you're over the trees, but you definitely want to be monitoring the airport frequency when you're in this area. And that's a new orchard for me this year. Old client, but new orchard from him.
All right, we got towers here,
Yep.
there, lines.
The wires are the worst. Don't go near the wires. Just cut short, like, 2 rows away or 3 rows away. It's much better to err on the on safety than to get too close.
Agreed.
Because if you hit them, that's it for you for the season or maybe for your life.
Yep.
So don't hit them. Okay, so let's go back to. We'll go back to. ATM bottom
now for
What's that, Dana?
ground vehicle on Alpha 4 holding for 3012.
Helicopter is departing the area to the south. There's lots of orchards. This whole town, this is East Wenatchee, and what they've been doing is they're pulling out orchards and they're putting in subdivisions. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I can see that. You ought to see
Enter
Texas.
the Charlie.
Say again?
The building that is going on in Texas.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's leaving New York, California, all the others, and coming down to Texas.
Well, I hope it does some good.
You know, don't get me wrong, I love having their tax money there.
Yeah.
But, my goodness, what they're doing to, I mean, well.
Yeah, I know. It's happening here too. We're getting people from Seattle.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, this is a really, really nice place to live. It's got a lot of recreational opportunities. We've got an airport with flights to Seattle. We've got basically everything, you know, you could want in an area. And it's the rural landscape, you know, if you get out of town and you're not in a subdivision, it's actually quite pleasant. Okay, so we're going to go into, let's do, try to see which one we're by. Is this one of his? Yes. Oh, they took all those out. That's interesting. Okay, so now you're going to drive this block, whatever this block is. I don't know. So I tell you, so you're coming down, you're descending, and okay, we're really high right now, so we need to descend down. So normally you would just circle down, but you know, what you want to avoid, obviously, is any kind of really super aggressive maneuver, because then you run the danger of getting into settling with power. Alright, so I'm going to bleed off a whole bunch of speed now. I always start at the bottom and work my way up unless I get told otherwise.
This was on one of your videos.
Yeah, no, I know. This is, I have another video like this, except I let him fly. I'm not going to let you fly. Well, I don't have the tools in. It's not that I'm afraid of him. I'm not afraid of him. Alright, so we're getting down over the trees, and I am about, what, Skid's about 5 feet up?
I'd say 5.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, if you had a GPS, or if you're looking at your GPS or whatever, it can tell you the speed. So I just skipped this row, and now I'm going over this row.
Right.
And I'm gonna go this way. And you can start moving. Well, before you turn, you can just, you know.
Right.
The one thing you want to be careful of. And right now the wind should be blowing the trees around like crazy. And hopefully the camera's working, and we'll see that. And then I'm making my turn, over the trees, not wasting any time, whatever. And then just back and forth. And if you were doing Rainiers, which we don't have too many Rainiers to do, you'd be about 5 to 10 feet higher, probably about 10 feet higher.
Okay.
And I'm probably going a little slow right now. What's bugging me is that this ship doesn't have a GPS, so I'll have to learn to monitor my speed on ForeFlight as I'm flying. Kind of get a feel for it after a while, though.
5 knots. You're doing perfect.
Oh, so 5 to 10 knots is what you're aiming for, and if they're not so wet, you could go a little faster, and if they're super wet, you want to go a little slower.
Right.
Normally, you'll go every other row like this. So I skip this one.
Yep.
And you can see how they're getting all shaken around.
Yep.
So I don't normally practice for too long, although the cherries here are so hard. Their contract just started today, that I'm not worried about damaging any fruit. When you get to the wind machines, just what I do is I aim for them. You know, if I'm in that row, I aim for them, and then so pretend there's a wind machine in the right here. So I mean, it would be further, obviously. I would just go like this. So I go a couple of rows away, and then I go around it.
And get right back in.
And then I get back in, yeah.
Yep.
And that's, you know, you don't have to, some people will they'll go around it facing it the whole time. You don't have to do all that. And then say the wind machine is still right here, so I'm going down here, and I'm looking, and I'm past the wind machine, but maybe I'll go a little sideways just to make sure. Then I'm usually at least 2 rows away from the wind machines, and then I'm back in the row that I, need to be in.
Understand, yes.
And that's how I do it. Not much to it. And then you climb out, and if you have to do another one, you just reposition and go for it
again.
Yeah. And there'll be a lot of, this whole area is just full of cherries, so there'll be a lot of helicopters around. And they might not be monitoring this, they're not going to be on our frequency. They might not be on the airport frequency. You just have to watch out for them.
I'll do what we can.
A lot of times I'll switch over to the airport frequency, make a radio call on repositioning from Stamilt Stimmilt Canyon Creek, whatever, that's what we're near, to Three Lakes. You know,
Right.
so again, this again would be Camp David, and you'll get, you know, you'll definitely get the hang of it.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
And this is the greatest thing in the world with the,
Oh, I know.
the tags, the pins in it.
That is primo. I wish I had that. So back in the winter of 2018, but I did not. I had a different system and it was not as good, and it got me into trouble. So, oh well.
Live and learn.
Yeah. Lucky to live. And we used to do where they tore the trees out here. That was one of ours, and they tore the trees out. And then that's also part of it. And because it's so little, they don't even bother drying it.
Now, how many years does it take for a cherry tree to
4 years. 4 years. And I try to make, when I come in, I try to make my approach without flying directly over any of the houses. Just, you know, it's a courtesy thing.
I understand.
But you got to do what you got to do. I don't like this new approach. I used to come down in this valley, and I stopped doing that, and I might start doing it again because I don't like coming low over this hill. And then, you know,
Right.
just I don't like this approach.
It's a little easier to come up and over than it is to go all the way.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's see if I can find a level spot.
Yeah, good luck. I'm learning all about getting back into slope landings and all.
Oh boy, this is like I think there's a spot right over here that isn't so bad. I know that straight ahead is good, but and maybe right here, this looks pretty good right here. Let's try this. All right. Pretty good, a little low in the back, but pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Good enough. Okay, that was the orientation flight, and hopefully you got something out of that.
I did. I
And,
most certainly did.
I know, look at that thing. You know, it's a good test to see how the stabilization feature works.
Yep.
You'd be surprised sometimes it comes out pretty
Really?
good. Yeah, don't worry about it. If it doesn't, that's not the important one. The one behind us is, and it's still blinking, yay! And hopefully the audio one is working too. It's just they're on separate cameras. So I am cooling it down. I got my frictions on so I can let go. This helicopter has excellent frictions. And this needs to be tightened when I put it in. It's awkward, but
Well, I got a bar put in mine.
the bar is excellent. I had a bar in mine,
Yep.
and that rocks. And I also had power supplies in it,
Right.
so I could just plug in, and they were 2.1 amps each.
Yep.
So it would keep the iPad charged. That was the best solution. I don't know what he uses this for,
Almost like a phone.
but this was he had the mount here already for the RAM, so I just put my arm in and then I've got a suction cup that I might put over here for my phone. I'm sitting on the fence about that. So,
Now,
I think that's a camera. I don't, really know what he's got going on there.
I get his instrument lights.
No, I think that's the plug, and then oh no, that runs down here. I don't know what he's got going on.
I have
really
no
don't.
idea what this is.
It's a plug for something.
Well, it's a power plug, that's for sure.
All right. So we're shutting down, and I hope everybody who's watching this enjoyed it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I love to hear comments. I love to get thumbs up. I love to get new subscribers. Yes, we're shaking like crazy here because we're not parked in a level spot.
I'm gonna
There we
say,
go.
do you ever not shake here?
That spot where I was in before was really good. And the reason I'm not parking in that spot again, for those of you who are going to ask me this question, is that that's where the windsock goes, and I was parked too close to where the windsock goes. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned. Love doing these for you. Take care. Bye. And that's it.
That is great.
And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Stupid door does not have a... This thing's broken. I'm actually tempted just to buy a new one, put it on there.
Okay.
It's gonna drive me insane. And I am not going to take this out of the helicopter again because I will forget it again, and next time I won't have time to fetch it. So that'll be bad.